Hey, scrappy people. Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a TRD Scraplift Saturday post. And today we're going to be scraplifting team member Stephanie. You can see the layout that I'm choosing to scraplift right here. And I was really excited about playing with a 2x2 page protector. I don't get out my page protectors often enough, so I gravitated towards this spread so that I could use them. And I'm going to be scraplifting. I'm going to be scrapbooking this photo of me and my bestie in Miami, still working through my Miami Beach album. And I'm going to be using the Harvest Moon. Wow, it's been a while since I've used this collection, so I took a minute to think of the name, but it's called Harvest Moon. I also have some color cast design wood veneer here that I want to be using, and I have a bunch of scraps from previous collections or previous pages that I made with this collection. So I'm excited to repurpose these into 2x2 squares, and let's see how it goes. All right, let's get started. All right, so I already knew that I wanted to focus on the yellow and the green from the picture with a little accent of orange. So on the original layout, there is a scallop. There's three papers with a scallop in between the main front paper and the back paper. I decided to omit the scallop just because my scallop punch is a pain in the butt and I didn't want to get it out. So I'm just going to have a straight line across, and I really wanted to minimize the orange just because I knew that if I got too much orange going on, it would be a little bit overwhelming. So with the it would be overwhelming with the yellow and the orange. So I just had the little stripe of orange there, and then I was wearing a chambray shirt, so I wanted to matte this photo in blue to pull out the blue from the chambray shirt as well. This card says enjoying the last days of summer, but I wanted it to say enjoying the last days of vacation. So I cut off summer and I cut down the card to sort of match the size of the original layout. Then I created my letter sticker part of my title on this ruler so that I knew that it would fit perfectly. Then I just stuck it down from the ruler, and now I can get started with the fun part of the page. So I wanted to add this travel shenanigans down at the bottom from Color Cast Designs. I love the travel release from I believe it was May, and so I wanted to incorporate some of that into this album as well. The good thing about the wood veneer is I am really running out of room in these vacation albums, and I still have more pages to go, but the good thing about the wood veneer is that it's nice and thin. So I have some scraps cut down to 2x2, but I need to add in some more. So those were just the scraps that I had sitting on my desk that I knew I could make 2x2s, but I need more, so I'm going to start cutting down some of the patterned cards into 2x2s so that I have, you know, all 8. I didn't want to have any transparent pockets on this page because I didn't know what was coming next in the album, so I didn't want to have to fight with it later. So I chose 4 backgrounds, rearrange them so that the colors aren't too heavy on one side, because the colors on the actual scrapbook side of the page are super dark. They read super dark, so I wanted to make sure that the darker colors on the pocket side were separated from that side. I decided to cut down this journaling card to 2x2 and have just a little spot of journaling. I don't need to write too much about this photo, but I also like the way that it lightened up that side of the page too, because it gave it another spot of white over there. Okay, so now I can start decorating. I'm going to pull out my die cuts from the collection, and I've used this collection a bit, not as much as I've used some other collections, but I have used the die cuts enough that there aren't too many left over, but I'm going to work with what I got rather than reprinting. So I've got a lot of word bits that I'm going to play with here, and then a few butterflies, not really any flowers, but I've got some rainbows. I like the way that these butterflies are sort of warm tones, which contrast with the really or they're like muted, right? They're like purples, not warm. That's not what I meant. They're like brownish, right? And they contrast with the really bright colors of that side of the layout. I decided I needed something behind that "we" because it was reading kind of funny with the polka dots, but I don't like that dark brown. I'm gonna add in some layered squares on some of these pockets, not all of them, just a few. And I felt like I needed some more circles too, so I'm gonna struggle a little bit adding some extra circles here, but I'll figure it out because the circles that I wanted to add, they were all kind of the same size with this yellow journal bit that I was going to use as a background. It's kind of the same size as the wood veneer that I already have pulled out, so I want there to be variation in sizes so it doesn't look like cookie cutter. So I'll figure it out. First though, we're going to have a word bit with a rainbow. Then we're going to add in some word bits over here too. I was finding it easier to work with the rectangles at the moment than I was the circles, so we're just going to go with what was feeling easy in the moment. Add a heart to happy heart, of course. One thing that was hard for me, or not hard for me, but I was trying to do was not force balance on these pockets. I wanted them to be a little bit wonky, a little bit just decorated, like just not perfect, I guess. So some of them were obviously going to have to be centered, like those big circles, like wood veneer were going to have to be centered. But I can make a little bit of wonkiness with these word bits by just angling them funny and sticking them off the side. And it also gives, because I did it with all of them, while it still reads as quirky, it also is repetitive. You can see I have all three of those with the rectangular word bits are all kind of the same. And then I have the one smaller circle with the swoon. So now I need to add one more with a circle. That's kind of where my brain is going. I'm going to stick down this yellow behind this wood veneer, and then I quickly decide once I put it back in the pocket that I don't want the square part of that paper in the background to be sticking out the sides of that circular wood veneer. I did not like the way that that looked. Rearranging here so that the circles are not all in a row. I'm going to do it more here in a second, and then I need to separate that "oh so lovely" from the other large. It's not quite as large as the wood veneer, but it's large enough that they need to be separated a little bit, so I need to do some more rearranging. Plus, I'm going to stick down that "oh so lovely" on the butterfly square, but I don't like the way that it reads. It doesn't look right to me once I get it in there. So I'm actually going to switch it from the butterfly to the blue paper. I'm just going to switch both of them. And I think that provides a little bit more balance and looks a little bit better. Plus the ring of daisies matches the ring of daisies in the blue paper. So that made me happy. All right, so we're getting close to done here. I need to add in my journaling. Stick down these butterflies. I decided that I need a little bit more embellishment on the layout side of this paper, so I'm kind of looking at the tags, but there was a little bit too much conflicting pattern there, so I'm going to stick down this instead, and it's going to cover up that "oh happy days." It's going to cover up the "oh happy," or the "oh," just the "oh," and so it's going to say "happy days," which is fine. Decided maybe I wanted something back there, but no, I don't think so. But that is about it for this video. I'm going to add this little word bit and I'm going to call it good. Oh, I think I had one more. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci and Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. There's a link to the Scraplift Saturday blog post in the description box below with more examples of lifting Stephanie. All right, thank you.